Very well. Very well. Fine. It's a bit hot, just a bit.
Yeah. Not just a bit, I'm afraid, but we can deal with it.
Let's be optimist. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really hot.
Oh, hello. Long time no see, as they say.
Yeah. I have a summer job right now, so
Oh,
it's hard.
Yeah.
tiring, is it?
Okay.
Working a lot. Almost all day, so I gotta do it.
Is it with children?
No, I'm working in a hotel actually.
Okay. So
I'm not
you should
not
be air
here.
conditioning, at least.
I'm working all day, every day. I just have 4 days off. I came back home because tomorrow a friend of mine is getting married.
Okay.
Because I'm working in Sardinia, not here.
Ah, whereabouts in Sardinia?
In a huge resort in Maddalena.
Oh, that's
Really beautiful place,
fantastic.
but it's hard. There are a lot of visitors and tourists.
Yeah, beautiful.
Even though we have to deal with coronavirus,
Yeah.
visitors came.
Yeah. Anyway, of course.
Yeah. Well, from that point of view, is good. I mean, a lot of people in the tourist industry are complaining that nobody's coming.
Yeah.
But now
I'm still without my first job, you know, my main job because of coronavirus spread. So because I work in the airport, so I'm not working now, and I have to go there to work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we know who's coming today?
I was asking you the same completely just now because I don't know. So in the sense that we could start at any time.
Outside.
Am I what?
Outside in
No,
the wind, because I see you.
No. I got two fans. So one and the other me here. So I got like stereo fans, one here and one there.
Okay.
No, because otherwise I can't stand it. I have
I guess so.
clear.
I have air conditioning.
Oh,
I have to say.
Actually, it's not so hot in my place, but at this time it is. There's a couple of hours that is quite hot because I'm just in front of the sea, but at this time anyway it's hot. And for the evening, the evening is fantastic. Yesterday I had so many friends. They were coming here to my place. They say, I want to stay here for the night. Because actually then I'm at the corner of the building just in front of the sea. So it's always windy. But this moment, I mean, there's no shade at all. So the sun is just hitting us completely. So somebody else is arriving. Let me see, Barbara.
Okay.
Let me see. Yeah.
Okay, so.
Somebody else. Who is that? Oh, Gabby. Okay. Okay, so I'm not gonna send her a message. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, I was just sending you a message to know who was coming today, who's gonna come today.
Okay. So,
Maria Clara is arriving.
Yes, Maria Clara and Roberta will join us a little later.
Good.
But joining, Valentina couldn't make it.
Okay, no problem.
So it's us.
So, hello everybody. Hi to everybody. How are you? This nice summer weather? Okay, ready for a refreshment? A refreshing lesson today.
Oh, nice.
Good. I wish I could. Okay, so we start, Gabby. Do you want to use the usual formula? And
Okay.
ask him, because this time we are gonna even show something about some children. Okay.
Okay. Do we all agree that we're recording this session?
Yes.
Yes.
We all aware that we're going to be sharing sensitive material?
Yes.
Yes.
Do we all agree that the sharing of this material is forbidden?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thanks so much to everybody. Thanks so much, Gabby, to introduce everything always. Okay, let's start sharing our first part, and probably we'll see if it will be even the last one, or we're going to. It depends on how. Okay. So let me put our. Yes, I know it's the first one. And then black on black is so difficult to work on because I have to move our. Okay. Okay, darling. So we start to see some tips and suggestions to work better. And sorry, but I want to. Okay, that's just one. So I'm asking you now, which resources do you use to teach online? I'm giving you a list now, and you can give each of you which one you already use and which one you want. Okay, so we have PDF, ebooks, interactive exercises, podcasts, YouTube videos, TED Talks, news articles, digital course books, online games, and computer games. So tell me which are already using them, and that can you manage, of course. Elena, would you start to tell your experience?
I used some TED Talks and news articles because I have an adult student, so it was interesting, and I asked him to choose some TED Talks according to his interests, because I think it's always better if you are interested in what you're studying.
Absolutely.
Because it keeps you going on.
Absolutely,
But that's almost it, because I'm relatively new to the online training.
What about you, Barbara?
Okay, I don't remember what I did with the small ones, but I have some 15 up people. I have one 15 or 16-year-old. And I use interactive exercises. I find interactive exercises online. The lesson is a video lesson, and I'd share screen, or we find a way. And then YouTube videos. When I find some good explanation of something, I explain it, but then I also give him this other chance.
Yes.
Or also, if I want to make him hear an accent or a different way of saying something, or whatever I need. And yeah, and online games, I found these online games that are meant to teach, like you have to get the correct answer, and then if you do, you can do something else. And so on, and he seems to like them.
Okay. Good. And you, Diana?
I've actually never given an online lesson, but I might say I would use some YouTube videos and maybe PDFs, of course, maybe for the older students. PDF might be useful.
Yeah.
And maybe online games too. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And you, Maria Clara?
Same as Diana, I have no experience, but from what I've seen with Play with Gabby, it's a lot of YouTube videos. So I would say YouTube videos.
Yeah, good. Actually, Gabby is sharing a lot of material. So sometimes she's always using good hints to use all this kind of materials. But, you know, I was just asking you because you're not supposed to know anything at this point. I mean, as a trainer, I'm not expecting that you already know anything. So sorry if you already know a lot of things that I'm going to say to you, a lot of suggestions, but I think that even if it's useful for just one of you, that's enough. I mean, it's important to share it. So what I'm going to do now is getting into all these resources and show you in practice how some hints, how can you use it? And then if there's something that you can, of course, I'm just giving hints and suggestions, but if there's something that you can add, please feel free to do it, because I think that sharing in this particular part of the training session is very important, to share all our experience. I'll just give you a hint and you start. So the first one is PDF. For each one, I put the explanation given by Wikipedia, and here is the link, the direct link where they are talking about PDF. So PDF, the portable document format, is a file format developed by Adobe in the 1990s to present documents, including text, formatting, and images in a manner independent of application software, hardware, and operating system. Actually, a teacher will likely need to develop notes for students, work with PDF files by creating new PDF documents, organizing, editing, splitting, merging, and sharing PDF documents, and much more. I'm showing you something. This is a resource you're not going to find when I'm going to send you the material, because it's just in my computer. It's not online. This one. There are flashcards. Someone was talking about just ODLs for PDF. I showed you that it's possible to do even with very small children, like this one. You know, these are just flashcards made in PDF where they can guess the picture, and then you have the word. Of course, they are in alphabetical order. So you got now something with B, that is, of course, it's always A, sorry. So there are a group with A, a group with B, a group and some more, not just one, but you can decide what to do with each flashcard. I can't teach you at the moment how to use flashcards, because I think that each one has got its own way, but this is something that we could do afterward. We got an apple, and you see.
We don't see anything.
Not yet?
No.
I'm sharing.
We don't use flashcards. We don't really use them, but.
You don't use flashcards?
No.
Oh, so I'm against your policy.
It's okay. It's okay, because online, as you said, there are limitations, and we're going to have to resort to flashcards.
Yeah, but you know, these kind of flashcards, you will see they're very useful.
Okay.
You can use in your own way, in a story, or just link them in a way. So for example, this one, I start with the first one because it's nice. It's the one I prefer. That is letter A. And then, you know, they could, it depends on their knowledge, but alien, you see. And then you got an apartment, of course. And many more, because you got all the alphabet. They are nice, they are colored. I've tried them on with very small children, and they do work perfectly, especially if you ask them to repeat the word apple, and then you can just take some of them and use it as much as you want, because this is the material that you have in your computer, and it's beautiful, it's well representative. Of course, you see that is material that is made by Cambridge University Press, so it's even quite new, it's 2018. So you can easily find it in teacher resources. And that's another way of using flashcards, actually. Okay, let's go on. Number 2 was, oh, again, PDF. This is another way of using PDF. During, this is a video that I'm going to show you. During lockdown, of course, when you're doing and preparing your online lessons, some books you have the digital course book, but some of them probably you don't have, even because digital course books are really expensive, especially if you are not a government teacher. You know what I mean, Gabby. And to get materials for private teachers like we are, sometimes it could be really, really expensive. So we could use even books, they are in PDF version. For example, this book, it's a book that my children, they are movers, and my children, no, they're starters, this one, Fun for Starters. They got a book, and I found out the PDF version. So what I'm doing here is something that is very easy to do. They have the book in front of them. You do your lesson with the digital book. In this case, a PDF is becoming like a course book, a digital course book, even if it's not. You see on a PDF, who knows and who know how to use it. You see, you can add notes, write, and do so many things. And I show you this part. In this little group of, there are 6 or 7 children, there's one of them that it's brand new, was her first lesson. So I was trying to let her feel in the class, even if she was new to them. So I show you this short video. Okay, okay, okay. Lesson number 2.
Now, the mirror. Put it on the sofa, please.
On the sofa? In the living room?
Yes. Put the mirror there, please.
Viola, what do I have to take?
Allora, devo prendere lo specchio
Good.
e metterlo sul divano.
Brava! On the sofa in the living room. Bravissima. Very good. Let's the next. Tutto ok, gli altri? Okay, so this girl, Viola, was her first lesson, so she was allowed to speak in Italian, but she was trying to understand everything. and she will follow the lesson. So this is another way of using a PDF during your digital lesson. So that means that with any kind of document you have in PDF, it's a very good way to share your screen with something that probably they have in paper or in other or in a book or any other things. Okay, then ebooks. An electronic book, also known as an ebook or ebook, it depends on how you want to write it, is a book publication made available in digital form, consisting of text, images, or both, readable on the flat panel display of computers or other electronic devices. Although sometimes defined as an electronic version of a printed book, some ebooks exist without a printed equivalent. Ebooks can be read on dedicated e-reader device, like, you know, the Kindle, but also on any computer device that features a controllable viewing screen, including desktop computers, laptop, tablets, and smartphone. This is, of course, from Wikipedia. Several e-readers, including the Kindle, that is the most common one, provide text-to-speech ability, which is aiding students with visual impairment, as well as those with reading difficulties, to read books at a higher reading level. E-readers also allow students to use a dictionary seamlessly while reading. Note taking and highlight features are also available and very, very useful to them. Most importantly, e-readers are allowing students to choose what they want to read with the touch of their finger. Books can be downloaded in less than 1 minute and no waiting is necessary. So you can understand that I am a fan of e-books. And I think they, in this particular moment, they can be a really fantastic tool for reading. Of course, we are speaking about students, they already read. So they are not suggested for very small children, but you can use them if you know how to. So it's important that you, for example, this one is a way I have, this is my Kindle online. I got the Kindle, the physical Kindle as a tablet. And then I downloaded the Kindle version on my laptop. And on that Kindle, I can use it and share. These are two small videos of the same book that I shared with pre-starters. So we're speaking about with children of 5, approximately 5, and adults, just to enjoy them, you know. And the book is Cookie Lookie, that you probably know Cookie Lookie. Cookie Lookie. Bravo. Ducky Lucky.
Lucky Lucky.
Perfetto. Rocky Lucky.
Lucky Lucky.
Yes. Lucy Lucy.
Lucy Lucy.
Yes. And Ducky Lucky.
Lucky Lucky.
Oh yes, they carry a lot to tell the king. Harry. Snap. Who is that kid? Who is Snap? It's a, yeah, it's a, it's a. You see, they were fantastic. Actually, I was just reading. It's something that you do in your class usually, but in this case, you can do digital. So I was reading a book that they could see very clearly because I was screen sharing. So they, of course, they didn't read, but they were repeating, especially, you know, all these strange words. They're not used to the strange names, and they've been really fantastic. Now I show you the same, completely the same page made with adults, and believe me, children were much better than them.
Penny penny, tutti lacchi, dacchi lacchi, lacchi lacchi,
Lecchi lecchi.
grechi lechi.
Deve esserci differenza tra uno e l'altro. Se tu mi dici lucky lucky, draghi lucky, non si capisce. Invece ducky lucky, draghi lecchi. Vedi qua c'è la O e la leggiamo con la A aperta. Questo ti aiuta anche nella lettura del draghi lucky, draghi lecchi, lecchi, draghi lecchi, lecchi.
Gusi,
Brava.
tarti larti, carri e long tutte le figlie. What are next?
Serpente? No. No. Foxy, Loxy.
Ah, lavoro.
Oh yeah. Foxy, Loxy. So the children,
Foxy, Lox.
the children immediately got that it was a fox. The adults say, oh, it's a snake, it's what? So, you know, working with fantasy, of course, with children is much more fruitful with children than with adults. And this is another way, but you can read any books with them. For example, with a group, I started to read a Game of Thrones. That is fantastic because, you know, this is just how you see the Kindle version on a laptop. So you can go back, you can go make it bigger, make it 2 pages, and then it's fantastic because you have the highlight and the vocabulary. If there's a word they don't understand, immediately you can click on it and it's opening the vocabulary online. So if you want to share it, you show how to do it, and then they can do by themselves. And, you know, you can even, what I did for people that, for example, now we are reading with another group of adults, an Agatha Christie novel. So some of them, they bought the book, but some they didn't. So I can even copy and paste each pages we are going to read and then paste on a Word document and send it to them if you want to work on a book. Interactive exercises, what was mentioning Barbara. The web is really full of interactive exercises. Be careful because some of them sometimes they do contain mistakes. So it's not something that I have to tell you, but it depends. Just go on some sources that you really trust. For example, of course, this is the British Council or anything, or if you know something that is really reliable, do it and share it with us because they're really important. They're all short clips that I took during this lockdown, so they are just very recent.
Before writing her first novel.
Maya.
You look just like your mother when you smile.
Anna.
We've only just met, but I feel as though I've known you all my life.
Eccomi, buonanotte. They said I didn't have as much experience as the other candidates.
Yes.
As we were late, we had to get an expensive taxi.
I slept on the train.
Okay, so that's finished. Roberta is arriving. Welcome, Roberta. Okay, so what you see here that first of all, I'm sharing, of course, even they don't need anything at all. They just need their device to be connected with the teacher. And all the job, it's up to you. So in this case, I've just shared the, of course, I've been preparing everything before and to see if it was working or not. That is something that usually in a class you can do, because I'm using these devices as well, even in the physical class. But of course, I got a screen, I got my computer, and you got all the time to see and look for them. In this case, you have to be everything prepared in advance. And in this case, you see, probably you feel that it's important, even the feeling that you, when you are managing a class. A digital class, especially like it was in the lockdown, he has to be much more empathic than usual. Because, that was, they told me, you see, they are all ladies. And they told me there was a real lifesaver during that terrible period. It was the same for me. I mean, we were expecting that time very anxiously, because, it was a funny moment that we could share all together. And, in that moment, it has been very important for all of us. Some of them, they were living alone. Some of them, they were almost depressed and doing this, but nevertheless we were studying, because we never stopped studying. And so even our the content of our meeting was serious. Even if we were always laughing together, singing a lot, making jokes and everything. I think you did the same.
Yeah, using my jacket.
Okay, she's finishing it. Okay, doesn't matter. We close it, but that. Then we have the podcasts. Podcasts now, they are very much more common even in Italy. They weren't. I remember that when I was living in England, they were so well known by everybody there, and here they didn't know anything about podcasts. Now you have also some sites where you can put your own podcast and share it with everybody, like the same like YouTube, made all with podcasts. And you find a lot of stuff for listening. Listening is, of course, an important part of the English skills that you are going to teach to your students. So you don't have to forget that even podcasts, they can be very useful. This is another short clip from BBC Learning English. Sorry, not this one. Here. Go to this exercise. Let me say the flash. Here you see the flash was blocking, so you have to do everything online, but they don't care. Just listen to the conversation. Don't do anything else. Just listen, and then I'm asking you something.
Hello, can I help you? Yeah, hi. I've got a reservation. My name's John Artis. Oh yes. You booked a shared room for 1 week? Yes, a shared room, but perhaps I'll stay longer. Okay, but let us know as soon as you decide. Yes, of course. How much is that? It's £18.50 for a share from. Can I see your passport? Here you are.
Okay, very easy. Very easy. Yeah, that was very easy. And for example, I used this one during one conversation online. It was just conversation. And just to introduce, because the levels were different, they weren't just one level. So there were some students elementary, some intermediate. So before, as a warmer, you know, remember the parts of the lesson that we have to do it. So as a warmer, I let them listen to a podcast to introduce a bit of the language, because afterward we were passing to the practical part with a role play of hotel reception and customer and guest that was coming, and so all the things that we were just practicing, not immediately afterward, but before listening, and then licked the various words and structures, and then doing the practice. Number 5 was YouTube videos that you all use, because of course YouTube is such a fantastic source of, but we can use, for example, even our own videos put on YouTube, that they could be even better. For example, this short clip is from one book that I have made for my children. I'm reading the book, and I have made in a digital version for them. In this case, I was reading the book twice, in Italian and then in English, because I was asked to do it in this way from a school. But usually I just do in English directly, and then I send it, the video, to the children. Like in this case, this is the end of the book. Okay, we've done it. So this is the end of the video. You see here we got a couple of children, and they know that it's me reading. This is very important when it's you doing something. So I'm preparing the video with me reading, so you can use in any occasion, even if you're not, you can, I don't know, even share with your colleagues, for example, and you say, if some of you have got, you sharing the same group, I don't know how this is working in your organization, but if it happens that, for example, Helena is going to a class, and then they know even Barbara or Gaby, and so you see that this is something made for them, just for them from you directly, it's very important. So you see here we have the were pre-starters as well. And always, you know, YouTube, this is, on the other way, a normal video that I found on the internet, but I use in the digital way the same, more or less the same way, the same thing I do in a class, in a physical class. That means I use something to show it before the video, because we have made practice of it, and then even during the video, because I got my little box with my spider, and this is just to present in a very funny form the preposition.
Under by, on in, under by, on in, under by, where is the spider?
And I got the spider in a box, you see.
On, in, under, by. On, in, under, by. On, in, under, by. Where is the spider? In. On, in, under, by. On, in, under, by. On, in, under, by.
Where is the spider?
Under. On, in, under, by. On, in, under, by. On, in, under, by. Where is the spider? By. On, in, under, by. On, in, under, by. On, in, under, by.
Bye. Yeah, very good. Super. Okay.
Of course, before that, we were just trying to do, you know, and the by together. They were doing it. And then at the end, we watched a video. So watching a video, like in some schools, they say, oh, no, you can't use video. But watching a video is not just leave your children in front of the video and that you don't care, but is doing another activity. It's an activity that you share with them. And of course, in the digital way, even more. So use a lot of videos. The only thing is that if you record these videos, then you can have some problems with the copyright because when you're going to put the video of your lesson on a copyright, they are going to stop it. But when they stop it, it doesn't mean that they cannot watch it. The only thing, you can get money from it. But if you use for didactic purpose, nobody's going to ask you anything at all. Okay, even the copyright is protected in this way, especially when you have kids. So you're not just leaving the video public. It's not a public video, but it's what they call the or private, or there's another word that they use in YouTube that is I don't know if I forgot it now, but I have to tell you, is there's a way that you can access to the video just if you got the right link. Without the link, you cannot access to the video. Even if you're looking for all the words, all the possible words, you can get it.
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah, you do the same, Barbara.
Yeah, I put some videos of mine on YouTube because I wasn't able to send them on WhatsApp. And but I think that only the person who has the link can see them.
Yeah, that's it.
Of course, people can share the link among themselves, but nobody can search for it. And
I know they could share the link. It's not, but usually when there are children inside, the same parents, they don't like to share the video with their own children, showing them. But you know, or otherwise you can do it private. Private means that you are going to send via email, and you have to give a special key of access one by one. So they cannot even pass in the link to anybody else because they need a key to get inside, and the key should be different for each one. So this is completely private, if you want. Then we have the TED Talks, that they are conferences. They call it TED because they are technology, entertainment, and design. It's an American media organization that posts talks online for free distribution under the slogan, ideas worth spreading. Actually, there are great TED Talks for language practice, learning another language. There's a collection of TED Talks to indulge in your linguistic desires. And usually they are just made for this purpose. So I want to show you let me see. Yeah. You see, this is just the part that is just the TED Talk side, but is for language practice. So you can be, you have all the videos that are divided from level, subject, topics, and some of them, they are also for children, not very young children, of course, but for primary children, you can do it. But even, you know, I think that was something that we were discussing last meeting, to get them exposed to real language, even if they don't understand. But for example, if you are speaking with children about street art and you are doing your street art in your class, or you're asking in a digital way to prepare a drawing or something that is a piece of art, then you can show them a real video with with real children or other in other schools, because there are so many TED Talks that are taken even in schools and for school. We got the Pope as well. You see, that's really everything, and this is updated, of course. Okay, let's go back. News articles. Of course, you use a news article when you say about to teach to adults, but even kids. There are, I just mentioned one here that is teaching kid news, but there are quite a lot, especially they're almost from United States, and they are very good. Of course, BBC News, it's useless that I show you because you know BBC News, of course. And here you see, you even have, you know, stories, so you can decide what to do. And the other one that was this teaching kid news. This is more than 10 years that teaching kid news is online. So actually it's very nice, even because you can find not just to share the article to your kids, to your class, but it's a very good source for your own material that you can, you see, because there are so many even stories that you find, not just news, but news in the form of stories or everything, and they are all really well done, well done. Angela Lansbury has teapots. You know, very even positive, or how to wash your hands. Why not? It could be useful, but doing it with a video. Digital course book. I don't know if you are using digital course book. I'm using them a lot. And usually what my course book that the course book that I prefer are English file. They are Oxford University Press. Those digital books usually, as I was previously saying, are really expensive. And because they are given for free to teachers that they are in a class or more classes in a public school or private school, but they got something like at least hundreds of students. As I think that we are sharing the same, more or less the same way of working. It's very unusual that you have 100 of students of a higher level. So sometimes we have small groups, especially when we are following on a digital way. So to find out this digital course book is it could be very expensive. Actually, if you ask without knowing anybody, they ask you for about at least from 300 to 500 euro each. That is really, I think, too much for a private teacher. If you know somebody, I was lucky to get them for 50 euros. That is more or less the price of a course book. But usually they are not given to private teachers. This is a policy that I think is going to change a bit after this coronavirus. And I was one of the teachers that was pushing a lot this to stop this policy of giving even help those teachers that are working privately, because they are becoming many more. But anyway, the digital course book is a fantastic tool. You don't need anything else. If you got your digital book, you can have your lesson even without preparing it. I didn't say it. I didn't say it, but actually the digital course book allows you to do everything, because you got all the exercise, the interactive videos, audios, corrections, everything. You got everything. You got extra activities, you got everything. And then you can share it. This is just a short clip of one recent. Sorry, I was just clicking on the, okay, yeah.
There is a device used by Marconi to show how radio works.
Just radio?
Or radio waves, I think.
Yes, radio waves. Yeah, fantastic. Radio waves work. Wanna try second one, Matteo?
Yes, you can see apparatus used by who are developing things in scientists,
biologists.
Biologists.
Yes,
okay.
Yes, but it's the same. I mean, the meaning. Biologists, they are scientists. Okay, Marta.
The most popular exhibit in the museum is a blackboard. Einstein used it to give a class in Oxford University.
Oxford in 1931. Yes, very good. Okay, so you see, this was, of course, before this exercise, we were watching a video on a science museum, and then they had just to do this exercise, put in the missing words. This was a small class of that night. There were just 2 people, and they were preparing for the first certificate in English. And of course, you can see just one of them, because the other girl is under 18. So as we wanted to share even with the people that they were not connected that night, I was asking the girl not to put her face online, because she was under, I mean, I think that now she is 18 just in these days, but anyway, she wasn't. And so, and the other man, of course, is much over 18. But you see, this tool is really fantastic, and I hope it could be more accessible for any kind of teacher very soon. Then online games and computer games. Barbara says something very interesting, because there are some games online that they are just made for language teaching and for language learning. This is true, but it's also true that even some other games that they are not properly designed for learning, they are very good to let them try on something like their, let's say, English-speaking colleagues, like small student. So they often, those games often get a bad reputation. Some of that criticism may be deserved. Many don't exactly encourage kids to get active, but we are speaking about something that we have to use in a critical moment as well. But they aren't so bad. I mean, I've already used them even before the lockdown. In fact, there are a number that are pretty educational and can help students, young and old, learn new things, develop problem-solving skills, this is very important, and get creative, all while having a great time. Many schools have already gotten on board with educational video games. So I've been studying a lot this, I think that I put something, la didattica ludica, that I think is something that you probably have already studied. This is a slide that I used when I was working and studying at university. So I think that we are all using la didattica ludica, even without knowing that we're doing it. So we didn't know probably the name, but you know, that is so important. And you can read it, even if it's in Italian, this one. È un metodo di insegnamento basato su attività di gioco che si possono applicare a tutte le discipline e a tutte le età. È un approccio metodologico nato in ambito di glottodidattica, ma adatto ad essere trasposto in altri ambiti e discipline. Si tratta di proporre attività stimolanti e divertenti, ma soprattutto di creare un contesto di apprendimento ludico, interessante e stimolante. E qui torniamo, we go back to our friend Krashen. Il gioco diviene quindi una tecnica didattica che, facendo leva sulla motivazione intrinseca, permette il conseguimento degli obiettivi e delle mete educative. Giocare fa abbassare i livelli di ansia, creando così le condizioni favorevoli perché lo studente apprenda, grazie alla cosiddetta rule of forgetting. This rule of forgetting, you will find it in the Krashen link that I've given you couple of days before with the other unit. And here, you know, there's another mentioning, another word, another book, sorry. This one, 6 games for the ESL classroom. But the most important thing is that they also encourage and increase cooperation. Games are highly motivating because they are amusing and interesting. They can be used to give practice in all language skills and be used to practice many types of communication. And if you try it, I know, without enjoying, you don't learn. You learn just when you enjoy. And of course, with kids, the best thing to let them enjoy is play. So even any kind of our activity can be a game. Sometimes I say to kids, now let's do a game. Actually, we are not, because we are doing an exercise, but I don't call it exercise. I say, that's a game. Let's discover the hidden word. The hidden word here is, so you use it in a form of a game because they love it. But it's a normal exercise, actually. So I want to show you some examples, some short clips on how I have used those games. So the games that you can have in your computer are, of course, online games like this one. That is an online game about opposites. What's happening here? Oh, there's something that is telling our, of course, it's a note by Gabby that you can read on your chat. She's not disturbing the lesson, but okay. She's leaving. Bye-bye, Gabby. Bye-bye. See you. Okay. So this one is the kind of opposite game that maybe Barbara was mentioning. I'll show you here. Okay, Nico, Joe, go. You see, I'm sharing the video. Big and small. Opposite. Yes, good. Nico.
Poor and rich.
Poor and you say rich. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, here. They help me because sometimes they're even faster than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Allora, young and old.
And old.
Jotaro.
Gayatro.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Ugly.
And ugly. Yeah, very good. Good. So you see, this is really nice. The only thing that these games usually they got a lot of publicity and advertisement around. But I think that our children, they know about it today, and they don't care actually when you try to put the attention on the central part of the screen, and that's there that they work on it. They don't care about advertisement. Okay, this other game, it's just for small children, and it's a game I downloaded. It's an app that I downloaded on my laptop. Some of them, they are free of charge. I think that probably this one I paid something like a couple of euros, you know, something really ridiculous price. But at least they allow you not to have any advertisement, and you got in your computer. So even if you're moving around and the line is not fantastic and you want to put in a class, you can use it. In a digital version, you are sure that the quality of the video is excellent just because it's in your computer. So this is a color game that I made with the very small children. They were even here, they are the same group as before, and they're 5, I think. Fox, it's a fox. Yeah, it's a fox. Orange fox. So we put the color and the thing. Orange and I know that super. The adjective is going before the name. They don't realize it, but they do it. An orange basketball. Basketball. So for each color, you got 4 things, and as soon as they... Provate a indovinare quale potrebbe essere il prossimo colore?
Red.
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 No.
Green.
Green. It's green. What is that? Let's go on, and they say they go on vocabulary. It's like using flashcard actually, but you know, with them it's very funny because if they guess, I click it and the color. Otherwise, they remain white. So they try to color them. Another one that is very useful for all ages is the hangman.
Oh, nice.
You find so many. I mean, I think that even it's enough to have a board or a piece of paper and you do the hangman, of course. The nice thing on some hangman online is that you can use your own word. So for example, this one that I used with the children, I prepared in advance all the words according to the lesson that we've already done. So just, you know, for example, you're speaking about school objects and you put rubber, bag and so on.
Le parole, attenzione, sono le parole che abbiamo appena studiato ora.
So it was the first time that they were doing it, so I had to explain clearly, and sometimes some Italian is needed.
No, se non vi sento bene se metto la musichetta. Ok, allora ognuno dice una lettera e l'ordine è questo. La prima è Gaia 2, Sofia number 2, Gaia 1 number 3, John number 4 e Nico number 5. Ok?
Ultimo come sempre.
Come il dolce, Nico. Okay, let's start.
Within these children, there are some they need special assistance at school. During lockdown, they were alone and they were fantastic.
A.
You don't recognize which one is.
Sophie.
B.
Gaia.
N.
So just to practice the spelling is fantastic.
Oh, very good. Nico.
Q.
Q. Remember, it's one of the words we just met. È una delle parole che abbiamo visto prima, era nel testo. Gaia.
A me.
Gaia 2.
Sì.
You have to give them time.
Sophie.
You don't have to push them.
R.
Yeah. Gaia 1.
Because at the end they forget
What
they
do
are
you
doing
say?
something for English.
E.
They're just enjoying it.
Yes. So.
S.
F.
S.
O S. No. Nico.
P.
You got it.
Oh yeah. Gaia 2.
U.
That was one of the last lessons of the lockdown, so they were even so tired.
N.
But they
M. Okay.
yeah.
Gaia.
P.
E.
Computer.
B.
Computer.
Ma dai. And this one is another app that I have downloaded on my computer. There are many various games, and one of them is like a puzzle game with body parts, but with animals. And those kids that I'm going to show you now, they are small kids of 4, and one of them was in his first session, so he didn't know the other two, that there were 2 girls. Wow, terrible girls, and it was a boy. And so I was trying to get him involved by calling him always, I mean, more than usual. But they did well, and the other 2 girls, you see, if you see, I have a pair of wings being on my back here, because they like it. So I was trying even to change my background anytime to make them laugh when they were entering in.
Dei pairs, quello che facciamo
Sorry.
It's okay.
I found it online. I wanted to see it. I found it, but I found yours.
Yeah, it was me. Yeah. Because it's in my channel, YouTube channel.
Yeah. I was looking for the kind, trying to figure out
what
app it was, but okay, I'll look for that later.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Dei pairs, quello che facciamo sempre.
That one.
che anche tu, Tiziano, sono sicura lo conosci bene, perché come si chiama in italiano?
Memory.
Il memory. Giochi tu a memory, Tiziano?
Sì.
Sì, che devi scoprire le carte. Giocheremo anche a quello prima. Adesso iniziamo con un puzzle. Ok, let's choose an animal. Facciamo scegliere a Tiziano un animale tra questi qua. Quale vuoi scegliere?
Iena.
Chissà come si dirà in inglese, lo scopriamo solo quando abbiamo ricostruito tutto l'animale. Ok, spostiamo un pochino le nostre faccine, altrimenti non riusciamo a ricostruire l'animale. Ecco qui. Ok. What is that?
Head.
Head. Head. So I take the head and I put the head here.
Here.
Yeah.
Body.
Body. Where's the body? Let me see. Where's the tree? Ah, here is the body.
Legs.
Legs.
Sedini.
And
Legs.
this is the... Come si chiama, Diana? L'abbiamo visto adesso. Ti viene in mente, amore?
No.
A te, Alice?
No.
Si chiama tail. Tail. Andiamola a mettere a posto.
Aina.
Ahina. Sentito? Vi dice il nome e vi fa sentire la sua voce. Allora, il suo nome è?
Aina. Aina.
Ripetiamolo insieme.
Aina. 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 Aina.
Ahina. E sentiamo la sua voce. Listen. Okay. That is another way of playing. Or there are other games that are computer games, the one that you buy a DVD or you download and then you can share. One kind of a group of games that are very good for, let's say, movers, kids, and over, are this kind of games that are called click and find, something like that. They're hidden object. So you have a story that can be, some of them, they are really horror stories, so you have to make a good selection. So this one is Samantha Swift. That isn't a very a new one, because I think that has got something like at least 5 or 6 years, but it's still very good because it's the story of a lady that is going around the world looking for some something to bring in the museum. So she's going around the world, and then there's the villain that is trying to steal what she found in the ruins. But it's an hidden object. What does it mean? That they have here a list of objects to find on a screen. I'm sharing it. And so, first of all, I'm teaching them directions. So they have to tell me up, down, left, and right, then stop, click, found it. And then they try to collaborate. At the beginning, it was really a mess because they were trying to speak all together. I couldn't, because I cannot see them. Remember, you can't see them in this kind, because if you have to share the whole screen and you see just the kid that is speaking like now with us, they disappear, so you don't know. You have to find something that is really involving. But at the end, I mean, after just 1 or 2 lessons,
They knew how to play because they are fantastic, of course, with computer games. And they knew everything, even using tools. So they have to use tools to open the door, for example. There's a key that is hidden somewhere, so you have to solve some puzzles and so on. This is really fantastic for kids. I show you just a little clip of it. These things.
Boh, l'ho già trovato. Che cosa? Io aspetta un attimo.
Okay, Nico, give me directions.
Stop.
Okay.
Left. Stop. Down. Stop. Allora, vediamo che cosa c'è.
Okay, what are they?
They have a list underneath. So
Or the pliers.
Pliers. They are pliers. Okay, and this is the
Ring.
No, this one.
No, it's a box cutter.
A box cutter, and this is, of course,
A ring.
a ring. Very good. Then we have what? Let me see. What is that?
Candle.
It's a candle. Very good. It's a candle. And what is that one?
Broom.
It's a broom. It's a broom. What is that, this guy? And guys, what is that?
Paintbrush.
Oh, it's a paintbrush. It's a paint, yes? Wait. Okay. Left.
Stop.
Okay. Very good. Then we have to find out what? A flashlight, a plate, a ticket stub. A ticket stub is like this. Okay.
So they learn even new vocabulary without passing through their language, because they see the thing and they learn how to say. Sometimes they don't even know in Italian the word, but they learn in English first. And they remember because they're using it. It's not just like a flashcard that you just show it.
Where's the bolt? Where's the bolt? The lightning bolt?
Right. Stop. Up.
Oh, yeah. On the statue. Oh, here, look. We have something to actually limited in this area. What do we have to use?
Box cutter.
A box cutter. Oh,
and so on. And this is fantastic. They were waiting for this game so much, and they were producing really good language, even if sometimes they are speaking to one another in Italian, but it doesn't matter, because I was trying not to respond in any other language, just because they are 10. So at 10, and they were unfortunately they couldn't do their exam, but they're going to take it in October or November. Okay, even with the adults you can play. For example, the crosswords. Crosswords are fantastic. You know, the nice thing is that when you have something like this online, look at this student, she's on the beach. She was on the beach, but she was anyway following the lesson because she didn't need anything else but her mobile. So we were inviting her, but she was on the beach. So I say, what we are going to do on the beach? Crosswords. Okay, so let's do a crossword together. You know, just to make it the lesson easier, lighter, actually, much lighter. Sorry. You see, you have the hint.
Ah, what is about shopping, you know.
Ormo lo ricordasse.
Duty free.
Duty free.
Duty free, sì.
And I'm writing. It's always me doing the thing.
So you got more. Huh?
You see, that was just an example. Now there are practical tips for using technology to support, educate, and anytime, and communicate with your learner. So, sourcing and evaluating digital resource. Remember, this is very important because your time isn't free. So give yourself a limited amount of time to search for digital resources and bookmark sites where you find good ones. So use always your bookmarks, because otherwise you're always going on searching, and that is really a waste of time sometimes. So try to create a space for you and your colleagues so you can share and organize good sources or materials. This is very important. I don't know if you know, for collecting and curating this site that is called English Profile. Do you know English Profile?
Yeah.
Some of you? Yes, you do? You use it? Okay, so for ones that they don't use English Profile, when you find a great reading text, but you're not sure if it's a good one, you find it good, but you want to be sure, you can check the level of the words and predict which ones you'll need to pre-teach. Store the text or a link to the text and any related vocabulary activities by level and topic, whether that's in a folder or in a virtual learning environment like Moodle. We were speaking about Moodle last time. And anyway, this text inspector is very dark because it's an active link. So just if we click it, for example, I'm copying this. No, I can't here because it's a PowerPoint, but I'm opening the text inspector that is part of the English Profile. You can, for example, I'm copying this, pretending that is a text that I got in my computer and I want to see which level is suitable for. I passed on it and I start the workflow. And you see, in this text, there are 33 A1 words, 23 A2, 11 B1, 6 B2, and 1 C1. And they also gather which one is. So in a text that you have, some they are unlisted, like, for example, text inspector, that is a word they invented. So of course it's unlisted. Oh, unlisted is the word, Barbara. Sorry, because I remember now, when you put on YouTube and you can choose the link is unlisted.
Unlisted, okay.
Okay, they come out, you know, when you're not expecting them. And so this is a fantastic tool, especially with adults, if you want to get a higher level, or if you think, for example, but just if you want to share with them, for example, an article, a newspaper article, you put a newspaper article here. Let's go on the BBC News and let's put just any article and try to watch a bit. I'm going to see if, for example, this article, it could be suitable for my students. So I'm going to English profile. I paste here and start. Look at this. Here, of course, it's, you know, A1, they are majority, of course, because they are considered A1, even all the prepositions and auxiliary verbs that you always found a lot of A1 words. But how many C1 and C2 you got? So you have to elect them. If you have a group of B1, for example, you have to be prepared that you have to explain them words that are part of the group of B2, C1, and C2. That is really a fantastic tool. I mean, I found it for adults, especially for adults. Another, then what we have to do, developing materials. We can develop in a lot of material. Of course, you can turn your Microsoft PowerPoint now, you are great on them, into interactive quizzes and games. There are, with the, if you try it with the instrument triggers that is in the animation menu, you can make object clues, answer appear, like, you know, in the order, the animation that you have tried, or disappear. This is a way that you can build your own quiz, for example. Just with a PowerPoint, using a PowerPoint, you can make quizzes. One of you, they made it because she made, which season is with the snow? It's winter. And that's, it's already a quiz. Then there are some tools that I'm just mentioning to you and showing to you, but actually I never use it up to now, that are to build quizzes on Kahoot. Have you ever tried Kahoot?
No.
No.
They are much suggested by the Oxford University Press, and Socrates I did. So with those, for example, they're all free resources. Kahoot, you see, it's how it works. There's a very nice video that you can watch to see. You can create, you can play. Of course, keep in mind that you need some time to get into, but they are very deductive. So if you start with one, then they are very easy to use them. And actually, I didn't use it yet, but I made my enrollment, because you see, I enroll in everything. So I was logged by, because you can log with all these kind of sites. You can log just if you have your Google account, you see, without putting every time your password. So with your Google account, then of course you can pay various versions, but there's always a basic free one. Okay, that's the one I choose. And then if you need, probably, so that's me. And you have news, you can see there are, I mean, it's interesting, but I never use it in a class yet. So I can't say for sure how is it. I cannot give you any example of it. And the other one, it's Socrative. Socrative is more or less, is not with quizzes, but it's mostly for assessment. So if you have to prepare assessment, Socrates is very good. They are always using quizzes. You can have the app on your mobile or on your tablet. Each of these links, they can usually be downloaded in any kind of device. And that is important because, you know, you don't know what kind of device your students can have. So you should include everybody. And then there are other sites that are using like bookmarking. Instead of have your diary, you can have some bookmarking like Reddit or Mix. Reddit, I don't know, I know Mix that I show you. Mix, you know, it's a feed actually where you can it's presenting all your interests. At the beginning, you know, this is my pages. So at the beginning, I show them, it's like the news, but they're not just news. They are things around the world that can be useful for you. And you can add your own sites, the sites that you like the most. Like Organize Your Favorite or Reddit. That they mention a lot, but even this one, I'm not using it. But you know, they're all pages. Just if you use one, you don't use the other one. Just not to lose always the same idea that your time isn't free. Okay, these are just some information that I found out on the online teacher, the digital teacher site on the internet, that actually they are just saying exactly the same thing that we were mentioning in the previous modules. So it's even useless that I read them again. You can read by yourself, but you know, they are the usual, all the courses about digital classes, they are first mentioning the same things, that always turn on devices, interactive whiteboards, you know, sharing, always have a plan B, very important, test online, any online activities, of course, invest time in induction and onboarding and beginning of the course. This is everything we've already made. And even this other slide, setting up, you see, preparing students for using digital tools and resources. Then it's important responding to learners, and communication and interaction online. So it's important the use of the social networking. It's very important, you know, even sharing quizzes. So read it when you will send it. Same thing, try these tips to help you and your learners to navigate in the digital world safely, successfully, and productively. So productivity, information management, digital citizen, this is citizenship, sorry, is something that we use. It's important because I think that at least you have in your class, or you have had somebody with this dyslexia, or with a visual impairment or color blindness. Sometimes you don't even know. You realize just in the course of your lesson, because nobody is going to tell you that the student has some trouble. But, you know, it's easier than you think, because, for example, for the first one, it's important to use simple fonts, large letters, strong colors, have a background that is not white, but it has to be yellowish or something like that. You don't have to use exercises like the ones that are matching one group with another one, because for a student with dyslexia, it could be difficult to get from one point to another. But this is something that it's not possible just to mention in a few words. We should speak more on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not an easy task, but it's a possible task both in classroom and in digital lesson. I had really fantastic lessons with those guys in a digital environment. They were really fantastic, even because they are not feeling pushed too much.
Yeah.
I mean, a screen is something is protecting them in a way. And here again, the copyright. Here they say something that I don't really agree completely. That is, there's a simple trick. Ask yourself, would the copyright owner be delighted with the way I'm using their content? If the answer is no, use in a way that would delight them. I don't think that the commercial part of many sites, they just, it's enough for men to be delighted by our job. I don't think so. I think that we have always be very clear that we're using everything for educational purposes. That is important. And then, but of course, sometimes they can just block you. I don't say that they are sending you a lawyer asking you for money or bringing you to court. Probably they don't have right to them, but probably they can have the right of blocking your job. That is always so unpleasant, I think. More tips and suggestions. Do you know the time, girls? Because I'm getting lost with the times. I don't want to be too late.
It's 20 to 7, let's say.
20 to 7, gosh. Oh gosh.
Almost.
Okay, let's hurry a bit. Okay, BYOD. Do you know what is BYOD?
No.
Have you ever heard? BYOD is a topic that has been discussed so much in the last 10 years at least. That is, bring your own device. This, of course, was before the lockdown and coronavirus problems, because was a discussion on education if the students could bring their own device in a class. Of course, we are speaking about not just with children, but teenagers, especially teenagers. And of course, some of them, they say that it's important, and other they say that is not a good tool. But actually now we see that to be really aware of any kind of tool, any kind of device, it's important. So anyway, is that valid even for you teachers? So what do you use as a teacher? A laptop, a smartphone, a tablet? You have to be prepared to use everything. Of course, the laptop is the best thing because it's got much more opportunities of using any kind of tool. In fact, the majority of online teaching classes are done through the use of a laptop with a built-in webcam like mine, and a pair of headsets with a built-in microphone. Nothing more. But there are a handful of platforms that allow you to teach on your phone. So there are some platforms that are easy to teach with your phone. You have to follow them, enter with them, use them, but they're very good. while a lot of teachers love the flexibility of being able to teach on a smartphone, it is much more convenient to use, if not a laptop, at least a tablet as an alternative. Why? So, which are the advantages of using a tablet and not a smartphone? First of all, you got a bigger screen. So this is important because of course you're going to share, but you have to see clearly. So a tablet is at least from 7-inch at least. A 12-inch is a professional one, like mine is 14 inches. So it's not bad. A tablet has much larger screen, which make easier and more enjoyable for all to get involved. By having more viewing space, it makes the actual class easier to complete because tablets have a touch screen like phone, but also come with a stylus. Typically, you can use even a stylus. But I think that the laptop is much better. And then it's important, the battery life, because, you know, in a smartphone, you are, after a while, you are obliged to plug in, and sometimes it cannot be very handy to have your recharge immediately. Of course, a tablet and a laptop usually have a better battery life. And then this is most important thing, separation of work and play, and work and private life. So it's good to separate your work environment whenever possible. As a teacher, you could keep your phone for personal use and the tablet or the computer for work. Can you imagine if in the middle of your class your mother is calling you asking, oh, I forgot to buy the apples, you have to come down, and you know, it's not so nice to interrupt a lesson. And then I think that your private life has to be, I mean, it's an important issue more than ever in this digital, with the digital needs. So here we have some very useful links, very, very useful. So this one has got a kind of privacy on the link. So I couldn't put the link here because it doesn't work for safety problems. So the link, the site itself is forbidding to link outside. But I put it, the one that you can copy, that is very easy, Getting Smart, and you will see it. Now we're going to have a very quick look to each one, and then I do suggest you to get inside each one and see it really deeply. So 8 steps for a smoother transition to online teaching. Some of them, they're just articles. This is an article, so you can read it. More or less, they are the same thing that we were discussing about, but this is really interesting, really interesting. Please read it because it's on a blog, and this blog is anyway interesting. But this one, you know, because it was made in March. So at just at the beginning of the lockdown. The other one, how to ensure successful move to online learning, that could be similar to the other one, but it's another point of view, and is another article that you should use, even because each article is giving you a hint, because probably for one of you a hint can be interesting and not another. We are all different, so I think you have to find out your own way of learning all this stuff. oh, this is fantastic. That is Tech Against Coronavirus. Actually, it's like an encyclopedia of links, because here you have more than 60 sites to use for your work, and it's really, really fantastic. So they start, and here you see you have the name, of course it's the link is active. What is you find here? Team collaboration. You can even share with other people. They have on Twitter, you have Zoom, that is the platform we use it. So there any kind, video conferencing, internet speed test. You remember when I was telling you before getting a good connection, you have to see if your speed is enough. Here you have the internet speed test. That is fantastic. It's just checking what kind, how can you do?
No, how much is enough? Because I do it, but then I don't know how much is enough.
Let's try to do the test. It depends on the way, because usually, for example, I got a Fastweb fiber, and they are supposed to be enough, but sometimes, even if it's enough, here, if I move into the kitchen, it's not the same speed. It's getting slower. So you should even test on your own means, in your own situation, if it's enough. I mean, you could try, unfortunately, there's not a limit, because it even depends on how you use it. Because if you share the screen, for example, with audio and video, you need more.
Yeah.
It has to be stronger. If you are just sharing a PDF, you need a slower connection. You don't need so fast connection. So you got Skype, Microsoft Teams, Medium. I didn't check them all, because some of them they are updated, some of them they are not. Asana is another platform, but to Asana I prefer Trello. That is fantastic, and I use it a lot. Classdojo, Discover Education, the Dropbox, of course. Team collaboration is the one that you use to have your material, and then, you know, remote access, video conferencing. Look how many now they are just and they're adding on. Trello this is fantastic. It's team collaboration, but actually it's the platform where you can put all your stuff and you can share with a group of people. And I've used a lot for my courses and so on. So I do invite you to get in and see. And then tools for teachers and learners. That is a blog. So in this blog, of course, if you keep updated every day, you got new articles. But as the title is suggesting, tools for teachers and learners, I think that every day you can find some hints. So the same way that you are reading your newspaper in the morning, if you do it, I think you can put the feed on it or just follow it, you see, and you can sign it with Facebook or Twitter. No, I don't put my password here, but anyway, something you can do it, even because I don't remember my password. Because, you know, when is everything so automatical, it's quite difficult to remember always. And then this Getting Smart, that if we go, is another site that is suggesting you, is all about technology. It's not just about learning, but it's about technology, so it's given a very good list of hints here and there that can be really, really useful. But most of all, you should use stories. This I want to tell you because we would need at least other 3 meetings to get deeper into the storytelling path, and eventually we'll do it. But for the moment, just think on how many resources the digital world can offer to storytellers. Just reflect on the 3C. Do you know the 3C of storytelling? I'm just giving some small pieces. That is, collaborate, communicate, and connect. New technology tools allow us to connect, communicate, and collaborate easily with others around the world. Stories are all about these 3C and lend themselves naturally to create bridge between teaching and integrating technology. Digital storytelling is a tool that can support teaching and learning in every subject area. Of course, in this moment, we cannot speak widely about storytelling, but I just give you something more. So connect, communicate, and collaborate. We connect on an emotional level with people and events in stories, and we connect them to experiences in our own lives. Communicate. Stories let us communicate our perspective and perception. Collaborate. Stories are usually a collaborative effort for stories' characters, their actions and points of view. Stories that have been passed down through generations allow voices from the past to be intermingled with voices from the present, remixing and remakes of stories and new twists, allow new perspectives and shed new light storylines. So this is, you know, a digital story is like, you know, like a vase where we put in our stuff. So we choose or create media on digital. Text, audio, images, video. The storyline, your writing, your storyboard, your scripting, and of course, a project. Import, edit, export, media. All of them, they made a digital story. But we are going to speak again on storytelling, digital storytelling, and we are planning to do it, if we can, even in presence. So having a coffee together, finally, and speaking together. So not just digitally, but storytelling in the whole complete possibility that we as teachers must use them. Now it's your turn. Get your device and try to create, experiment, study, try, use your laptop, use your smartphone, everything, you know, you can just try it on. And there are some teachers that are teaching technology that they say you have, in Italian, you have to, vi dovete sporcare le mani. Because otherwise there's no teaching enough, there's no training enough if you're not gonna try everything I said up to now. Okay, thank you. We get into time because I was afraid it was even too much. If you want, let me close it down here and stop sharing. during lockdown, I prepared another course for teachers, not English teachers, just teachers of all levels. And I have some more presentation on it. Of course, they are in Italian because they don't speak, not all of them, they speak English. So some of them, they are taken, because this one, I went deeper into the teaching English. But I think that the principle of teaching, they could be shareable for any kind of activity you want to teach, any kind of subject, not just English. So if you want, I can even send you another presentation that has been made at the Teatro del Lido with the patrocinio of the Comune di Roma and so on. That was just called, I'll let you know very quickly, Didattica Digitale. Okay, some of them we already watched it when we were speaking about PowerPoint. Do you remember? That was, for example, the list of YouTube, how to use, how to put music on videos, something like that. And then there's another part that is called Didattica Digitale, that is, you know, just a discussion, an open discussion on the principle, the basic principle of the digital didactic, not just for English teachers, but for all the teachers. For example, the importance of sharing and getting into specific groups. For example, in Facebook, there are, I don't know if you are part of, if you're using Facebook, but in Facebook, there are so many groups of English teachers. Some of them, they are awful, but some of them, they're really good. And they can really, you can really find out very good suggestions of lessons, of hints, of, I don't know, I've made, for example, I learned how to make a digital picture with all the avatar of the kids, not their real photos. And that was fantastic. They loved it because, you know, it's Pixton. I don't know if you use Pixton. And it's really fantastic. I can show you because I think that I put it on the, let me see, Pixton, yeah. Avatar headshot, that's me. Okay, I share it. One moment. Okay, it's this one. So this is my class, the class that you were watching, the one that they were playing Samantha Swift.
Oh,
and
like that.
I made myself, and each one was just drawing his own avatar by themselves. I didn't do them.
Ah, nice.
Because I can give you, I was opening the class, and then I was giving them the link, and with the link, they just needed a Google account. With a Google account, each one was just building up his own avatar. And they are so similar, believe me, they really look like themselves. It's fantastic. So this is even something, you know, instead of having the end of the year picture, you have a...
That. Where did physically?
It's Pixton. Pixton.
Pixton.
Ah, yeah. You see Pixton. You go on this site, Pixton, and it's very deductive. So you say create your class, and then you can put all using the BitBoy where you became a cartoon.
Okay.
For example, yes, they're all free. They're all free. For example, I got with the BitBoy, I created myself as a cartoon that is similar to me. This is not so similar, but it was standard. They say, no, it's similar. That's you. I say, oh, that's so slim. I'm not. But anyway, but in the BitBoy, for example, you are creating a room. So you are creating a class physically, but it's a cartoon. And you are a cartoon and you move. So you see, now let's go and watch a video together. And there's the cartoon of you that is showing the video. And then you open the video like I did in the presentation. So there are so many things actually to explore and to try. Of course, you have to give you a bit of time to practice because, but you know, for example, this one on Pixton, it took 5 minutes to get it and to send. The only thing that was really difficult was that some students didn't have a Google account. So I had to open 2 or 3 or 4 Google accounts, but they are minor. So it was quite complicated. But, you know, with the permit of the parents, if you are talking to the parents, and we did it. That was my end of the year. And, you know, so in this Didattica Digitale Modulo 1A, that I can send it to you, there's everything here. And even about, because it was made, you see it? Do you see my presentation?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, so Didattica Digitale is in Italian. Is even, you know, just to give in, trying to give a positive message to teachers. Trasformare un momento critico in opportunità. That is what they, just stop complaining. That's what I say. You see, here is designed to people that they don't know anything about the digital world. So it's not for you because you are more or less all well introduced in the digital world. This is for really, so even how to choose, you know, what to do, theory, not a lot. What is the difference between program, software, and application? That of course for you is not important, but for people that they are just approaching the digital world now and they don't have time to study, to make practice, it has been important. They say that even was to platform and social, how to use them, another list of platforms that you can use with all the link. This is the platform I told you, Trello, that is fantastic. And you know, a bit of statistics and some books, something to read, but even how to share, how to save, how to save your data, how to use Skype or WhatsApp in the right way. And so, and here a list, another big list, they're different, all different links from the one that I gave it to you now. And they are not just for English teachers, but as I am an English teacher, the majority of them, they are in English actually. So some of them, they are Italian, but just a few, unfortunately, you know, the one that are not for English language, but you can apply to your English because more, the majority are in English. So even reading, and they are the same, more or less. I was repeating some of the same. So that was the class while some of them they were missing because we were just elaborating it. So at the end there are more. Okay, so I'm going to send you everything through Gabby. And I think, yes, it's 7 o'clock now. We just do it. Okay, so any question, anything you want to know, anything, any suggestion, anything you want to share? Comments?
I'm dead tired. I'm sorry.
So am I. The day is not finished yet. I should go out for the night. I don't know if I will. Yes, but I mean, I go with a car and I go for a concert. So I hope that it will be fresh air at the port near the sea. So probably I'll do it. Let's wait for another shower.
Did you just send that presentation to all of us?
Not yet.
No.
Okay, because I was wondering if you do have my email since I was not there on the first course.
No, I don't have any email because I'm sending just everything to Gabby, and usually Gabby is sharing everything to you.
Okay.
If you want to send me your email, because I got some of you, they were sending you the PowerPoint presentation. So I got some of them. But what we did up to now is sending everything to Gabby, and she's doing the dirty job. Okay. And so anything is coming up to your mind from now onward, and you want to just share your ideas with me, call me. No problem. Because, you know, probably, and hopefully we could organize something in September to meet, to finally meet all together.
Yeah.
Nice place in my real physical class where I can invite you all for a tea or coffee and having a chat together. Okay.
Okay.
Hope to speak you and to see you soon. Enjoy the rest of your summer.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, thank you. And bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, people. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.